What are the insights? What should clients be thinking about when they actually roll out an SMS and the different generations and the revenue channels? What are your feelings on that?
Yeah, great question. And the way we've started thinking about email and SMS is almost looping them together as one in terms of like, I guess you could call it like retention channels or life cycle channels or owned channels. I really wish there was like a word that we all chose. Like it was kind of like even like like 2 years ago, it was like we were trying to figure out what do we call SMS? Do we call it mobile messaging? Do we call it text message marketing? Now we call it SMS, which is funny because you can also send MMS like images, which you were talking about. Um, but anyway, I eventually will agree on a term for what we call both of them. But yeah, in terms of like what we're seeing is like we like to measure both together, and then what we find is like attribution from those channels together ends up growing, and email to SMS might go up or down depending on the type of content we're sending and the audience we're sending to. What is really interesting is we have a lot of clients we work with who are up and coming D2C brands that are heavily focused on Gen Z. So one of our clients, they grew off the back of TikTok to millions of dollars in revenue within just a few months off the channel. They came to us not doing a lot with email. They were doing a lot with SMS, seeing great results. And they're like, we really don't know what to expect from email because we have a younger audience. We haven't really done much with it. Within 3 months, actually within 2 months, we scaled the channel to over 30% of their digital revenue. And so it's like looking at that and our other clients, it's like you definitely have to take more of a TikTok approach to the strategy and the creative. So we're talking, it's very flashy, it's very bright, it's very colorful, not a lot of text. We're literally, embedding TikToks in some of the emails or different content creative, pushing people back to social, and also creating more of a brand experience. But we're noticing like that's creating a really great experience for these types of customers in the email channel. It's driving a lot of results, which is really surprising because I think people's first intention is like, oh, Gen Z isn't going to convert on email, but it's actually working really well because a lot of them don't have jobs yet. And so the only email they're getting is promotional. And so it's working really well and they're being trained that it's a promotional channel. And when the pandemic hit and everybody ran out of content on Instagram, and then they ran out of content on TikTok, they were starting to go to the inbox. And that's when we saw last year a rapid increase in open rates. It was like, it's e-commerce went forward in time in terms of revenue and email went back in time in terms of engagement because everybody was opening everything and we were seeing record performance levels. And it's funny because we kind of see that with Gen Z in general on the email channel. And then SMS is like the no-brainer, right? Gen Z is always on their phone. They have no unread texts. If they do, it's like they're leaving you unread intentionally. But yeah, 90% of texts are open in like less than 5 to 10 minutes, according to Klaviyo's newest stats. And so we're seeing great performance out of that. We're seeing great performance out of email. And combining them together, we're seeing a lot of really good results as well. Because you think of a generation like Gen Z or even millennials, like they open their phone and they have like 100 notifications. So how do you cut through the noise there? Well, if you send a text and an email, you have 2 chances of getting them to see you versus just 1. And so we're seeing a lot of success with that. That's kind of a quick background on a couple examples we're seeing with Gen Z and millennial audiences on email.